All right, we are live on YouTube. They should be able to see all of us there, or at least that's. Could someone go to the YouTube live and just check? Oh wait, we aren't. Sorry, we aren't live on Riverside yet, so I need to make sure to do that. Let me go live here. Yeah, I know that makes sense. I'm going live on Riverside, and then I should be able. Yeah, there we go. What about now? Sweet. Can you guys see all of us on YouTube? Okay. It definitely says we're live in both Riverside and yeah, that's definitely why. Okay. Oh, sweet. All right, money. Money. Okay. Sorry, sorry everybody if my mic is a little bit lower quality than usual running with the headphones. Okay, cool. I'm gonna share my screen and get these fights on the board, and then we can get going. Okay. Yeah, that's how it normally goes. Okay, 317. Cool. I'm gonna share my screen now. Hmm. Where's the share screen? Oh, there we go. Screen. Cool. Yeah, it should be open. I made it all public. All right. Cool. Let's. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a fun one. Except for our boy SD Dumas, no longer on the card. I don't. I honestly don't know. I didn't even look into it, dude, because I knew it was just gonna be some stupid SD BS, whatever it was. It seems like a weird thing for them to not be able to make a. Yeah, that seems like a weird thing to not make an exception for. Like it. I don't know. I mean, I guess he's eight. Yeah, I mean, pray for SD, I guess. Um, but yeah, we have UFC 317 here. If you're watching right now, we're going to break down all these fights. We're going to spend a little bit more time on the main card, but we're going to go through all of these fights, starting out with the first card in the early prelims. Chris Ewert going up against Jackson McVeigh, two UFC debuts. Both of these guys are undefeated, I believe. Also, both short notice. However, it is worth noting that McVeigh fought like last week. What do you guys think about this one? I know you guys probably don't have, nobody has a ton of information just because these guys have both been fighting on the regional scene. Pretty low level competition, but hello, hello, Joey. Were you saying something? Oh, okay. I thought you were about to go in. Yeah, from what I've seen, McVay definitely mixes it up more. But I do think, like, just talking about your Cedric Dumas point a little bit, I do think this is almost a worse matchup for McVay with Chris Ewart than Cedric's was, just because Cedric's, I mean, he's been fighting for a while now, but he doesn't have any like defined base really. He's not the most technical or skilled guy, whereas Ewart seems to be a pretty sound technical boxer. But I do ultimately agree with you, Joey. I'm going to go with McVay, and I think the most likely decision method of victory, at least in my eyes, is a McVay sub. Just because Ewart kind of seems like a bit of a fish on the ground. McVay is so long at 6'4", so good at wrapping you up on the ground. The takedowns aren't amazing, but I think neither of these guys have high level competition. I like what I've seen more from McVay, and honestly, I think McVay's his level of competition is slightly higher. I went through Ewart's opponents, and almost none of them have professional fights outside of their fights with Chris Ewart. So, MK. He's a favorite now. I checked earlier today, and it's like it's a pick 'em, but he's like a yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with you with that log top take. From what I've seen, he kind of has like, I don't. He has the wide base. I think he gets hit a lot, like Lon Top does too. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Well, it seems like Joey and I are on the McVay side of things. MK is on the Chris Ewart El Tanque side of things. Um, yeah, I think it'll be a fun one to kick off the card. A little bit more fun than Mo versus Humvee last week. I told you guys that fight was going to be funny, dude. Like, perfect opener. Um, Janata Denise going up against another newcomer in Alvin Hines. What are you guys thinking here? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm going to ride with you on Janata. I think stylistically, Alvin could be a problem for Janata because Janata is absolutely terrible on the ground, and Alvin Hines seems to rely on his wrestling more often than not. And I feel like in some fights, you could even say he like chain wrestles a bit. He basically just, if you stuff his takedown, he comes right behind it with another takedown. And he's a good wrestler too. Janata obviously way more of a striker, basically has nothing for you on the feet just because he's a kickboxer. That's what he did before he transitioned to MMA. And the takedown defense isn't that good. So that's what concerns me. It's like I don't think I've seen enough of Alvin Hines, and he seems like a bad striker to me. It seems like he kind of wings shots from his hips and isn't technical at all. So my prediction is a Janata knockout somewhere early, but you never know. Like I wouldn't be the most shocked person in the world if Alvin Hines can kind of make it his fight, at least for a little bit, like employing the wrestling. But I do think it's Janata knockout. Cool. Damn, I really thought you were going with Alvin based on that description. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't think Alvin's without a chance at all here. I mean, if he can get some control time on the ground, it could get scary for Janata real quick. Let's move on. Do we even cover this one? I mean, Jacoby Smith is sitting at what, 24 to 1 odds? Yeah, I'm pretty much with you there. It seems like a layup that the UFC is trying to give Jacoby Smith to build up some new young talent. I think the odds are completely blown. Like Nico Price is a powerful guy. Like he has a puncher's chance, obviously. So I think those odds are stupid. But I don't think he's going to beat Jacoby. I think the technique gap pretty much everywhere is just going to be apparent, especially in the wrestling. Cool. Yeah. Would you take Would you take Jacoby Smith at 7 to 1 odds by decision? No, it's plus 700. I feel like yeah for Jacoby Smith decision. Nice. Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on. We got our boy Terrence McKinney, UFC Chit Chat alum, going up against Slavaklaus, Vyacheslav Borshev. What do you guys think here? Oh, wow, that's not. Go ahead, Joey. Okay, I guess because you guys are whack, I'm gonna be the only one on the Terrence McKinney side of things. Totally agree with you guys. Uh, Obviously, we know who Terrence McKinney is. He's gonna lose if it goes like deep into the second round, and that's basically universal in his fights. I don't think any of his UFC fights have seen the third round. Um, but I honestly think Terrence is kind of entering his prime right now. I thought he looked really good against Damir Hadzovic. That sweep was really pretty. And Vyacheslav is on his not on his way out, but he's definitely on the decline. I think his chin is a little bit shaky nowadays. Obviously, he got subbed recently by Chase Hooper, or within his last three fights. Terrence, he's a threat both on the ground and on the feet. I'm just going to be the one of the three of us, I think, that leans with a Terrence McKinney early finish. I think he can get it done either way. I think my prediction is going to be a submission win, though. Yeah, I'm going to trust McKinney to go in there, get it done early before he starts gassing out. Let's go. Yeah, great guy. He was obviously training super hard last time we saw him in Saudi, so I'm cool with backing him. Let's move on. All right, super fun one. Vivian Araujo versus Tracy Cortez. Who y'all got? That's a bit of a stretch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty notorious that like if you go back over a large sample size, like and take the ugly fighter over the attractive fighter in women's MMA, they're gonna win most of the time. And yeah, I love that take from you, Joey. That was a beast take because I'm leaning Vivian as well. I think bet wise, I'm not gonna bet her straight up. I like the 3+3.5 round line that we're gonna get for her. Took that with Miranda and cashed it, even though she lost to Rose. So gonna probably do the same thing with Vivian here. I agree with all the things you said about her. She's gonna have a reach advantage on the feet. She's a far more technical striker, far better striker in general. I think the main worry for me is Tracy Cortez taking advantage. This one obviously going late. I think it's going to go 3 rounds, so Tracy will have the opportunity to do this. I think she could pick up a takedown or two late in the fight where Vivian kind of starts to wear a little bit. And if she gets too much control time after those, then it's going to be a big problem on the scorecards for Vivian. But otherwise, I think Vivian has a bit of an edge in multiple parts of the octagon. So I'm going to go with her as the pick, not as a bet. The bet's going to be +3.5. Joey, is MK coming in a bit quiet on your end too? Oh shoot, here. Oh, I know what that is. That's my bad. I gotta turn off echo cancellation for all of us. Oh, that can't be changed while recording. Brutal. How bad is it? No, it's probably me because I forgot to turn off echo cancellation for both MK and I, but you have it on, which is good. And I can't change it while recording, so it's tough nuts. We're just gonna have to live with it, I think. Cool, whatever. Let me know if it starts like getting bad again, and I'll try to like move the mic around. Hyder Emil versus Jose Delgado. This is an interesting one to me. I kind of am still a little bit back and forth here just because I like what I've seen from Jose Delgado, but at the same time, like, I don't know if we've seen enough from Jose Delgado. I think it's going to be a really good fight. A hider, super tough dude. Chin has been pretty solid through his career, powerful guy. Doesn't really focus on the wrestling too much, but he'll take you to the ground if it's not working out for him in the striking exchanges. Throws big, can definitely knock you out with one or two punches. Um, yeah, he's coming off the Gomis win, um, where I'm pretty sure a late takedown and some control really helped him out at the end, and the striking was there too. He's got a pretty good striking differential, I know that. Uh, Jose, more of a striker. Uh, he's got the reach advantage here on Hyder. He's a pretty long guy for this division. He's also powerful. Uh, uses that length pretty well to control range. Also cool with lighting you up in the pocket. Has some pretty heavy elbows and knees when he's at a closer range. Looked good in the Connor Matthews debut. He obviously knocked him out in that one. Um, I I'm just gonna go with my gut and go with Hyder Emil probably by decision here. I I love his durability. I don't think I've seen enough to be fully convinced from Jose Delgado. Um, I know he has 15 minutes of solid cardio and durability. I know he's super powerful and can end the fight early if he really wants to. So yeah, I don't have an amazing or don't have a super. I'm not super faithful in either of these guys. I'm going with Hyder Emil. Yeah. What about you, Joey? go, Joey. Great pick. All right, let's move on. Jack Hermanson versus Gregory Rodriguez. What is Jack Hermanson's nickname again? I know Gregory Rodriguez is. I know Gregory's RoboCop. Here, I can start us off. I mean, I'm going the RoboCop side of things. I think. I mean, I'm not super confident following the Cannonier loss, but I think it's a much different opponent. Hermanson, you know, he takes a bit of time in between the fights. He looked good against Joe Piper. Definitely a chance this fight looks something like that, but ultimately, I think Gregory's going to be a bit better everywhere. I think there might be a bit of overreaction, at least with where the books have this fight. Actually, honestly, I haven't checked the odds in like 2 days. It's probably moved a ton since then. But I mean, Gregory was around a 2-1 favorite last time I looked. And I just think he's going to be a little bit better everywhere here. I think, you know, his cardio got exposed by Jared Cannonier. Cannonier is an absolute cardio merchant, though. We know that of him. He also lost in the 4th round of that one. This is a 3-round fight. I'm not really convinced cardio is going to play the same factor here like it did there. Cannonier also hits 10 times harder than Jack Hermanson. Hermanson isn't really dangerous at all. So yeah, I think pretty much everywhere Rodriguez has an edge. At least that's my opinion. I'm going to go with him. I love that take. I totally agree with you. I think Gregory gets him out of here early. Sorry, MK. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Oh, you're gonna bet Hermanson? I think he has a chance too. Yeah, but I'm with Joey on this one. Sadly, Brazil stand up. Viva Brasil. All right, let's move on to this main card. Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima. What do you guys think? I think I'm on the Lima side of things. Dude, I think that definitely could happen, bro. Like I'm not super confident on either side of this one. I think it's crazy. Like how often do you see a fighter go from being like a 10-1 plus fighter in every single one of their pro fights and then just become a plus 154 underdog the second they get out wrestled by a 5-time Brazilian wrestling world champion. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm still going to go with Felipe Lima as my pick just because I know Felipe can present a lot of those same challenges that Raoni Barcelos can when Raoni came in there and absolutely fraud checked Peyton Talbot. I mean, I guess I think people are saying that too much. Like again, Raoni is like multiple time national wrestling champion, but Felipe also has some wrestling accolades. Like he out wrestled Miles Johns, and Miles Johns is a collegiate wrestler. Um, Peyton didn't just get taken down once; he got taken down a bunch of times. I I'm kind of stuck here. I'm giving a very tentative Felipe Lima pick, but this is going to be a super close fight. Yeah, bro. I I'd rather see this. I'd I'd rather see this than a Peyton Talbot layup though. Like I mean, it's dumb. It's dumb matchmaking if I'm Dana White, but dude, I mean, I'd rather him fight people at his level, at least like develop a bit. Like if I just wanted to see someone, dude, I think this is totally at his level. I think dude, he's been improving every single fight. Like obviously he knows that Felipe is going to have his eyes on the wrestling and grappling. Like I think he's gonna have a game plan at least. Like I don't know if it's gonna be domination. I think Lima wins by decision. Ahead of that. Ahead of that. Yeah. Yeah. Howdy's not that bad though. Yeah. Yeah.